Good afternoon, America. So, Briana Aguilera was found dead on the sidewalk, I believe, in the state of Texas after a college football game.
Till this date, the Austin Police Department has not interviewed me or requested a statement. I hope they listen to this statement and understand I am willing to cooperate in this investigation. I live at 21 Rio apartment complex on the 17th floor. I was neighbors with Natalie, Briana Aguilera's friend. He literally lived right across from me. This is my apartment door to that table. That's how close we were, and the walls are very thin. She would usually throw some parties, after parties, pre-games. It was usual, so I was like, oh, okay, there's gonna be some noise. In the hallways, I can hear everything, and inside Natalie's apartment, so this isn't new to me. At approximately 11 p.m., I began hearing people entering Natalie's apartment. Loud music began playing like a party started. At around 12:30 a.m., I woke up to people yelling at each other. It sounded like they were arguing. I then suddenly heard the sound of a large group of people leave Natalie's apartment. The loud music then was turned off. I tried to go back to sleep. A few minutes later, I began hearing a girl arguing with other people. I heard pacing back and forth throughout the apartment, like the arguing was coming closer to the door and heading to the back side of the apartment. My dog began barking a lot, so she was growling a lot towards my front door. Shortly afterwards, all of us heard loud screaming, the kind of screaming someone makes when you accidentally drop something. I was letting them know that it was like the type of scream when you drop like an heirloom that's really important and you're like, oh my gosh, like really bad, right? I recall my dad saying, I hope they're not arguing on the balcony, God forbid. Eventually, the loud noises and arguments, screaming stopped. I could still hear conversations going on in Natalie's apartment. Natalie immediately vacated her apartment after Briana died. I do not believe the police were ever in Natalie's apartment during this investigation. My parents would have notified me. I would have known. That's how much I can hear the footsteps and everything from my apartment. The walls are just so thin. I hope this statement brings light to the situation. My heart goes out to Briana and her parents.
The story that Austin PD has been told and that has been delivered from them is she was suicidal. And it's just not adding up. It's not. So for one, her friends or whomever she was with, they claim that they didn't know where she went, where she was at midnight. They waited roughly 12 hours or at least 12 hours to report her missing.
I'm sorry, what? If you are following the Briana Aguilera case out of Austin, the one that was, deemed a suicide like 48 hours after they found by the APD, they did no investigation, no digging on the timeline of events. They didn't wait for an autopsy on the body. So all that to say, there was just a press conference that Tony Busby put on, the attorney that the family hired to do the investigation that the APD failed to do. And yes, I took notes. So here we go. If you've been following, you know that APD deemed her death a suicide like 48 hours after the event. What we just learned from this press conference is that APD never spoke to any of the witnesses that lived in the building.
The work being done by the local police department doesn't seem sufficient enough for me. I mean, if this happened to me, I would want all of you all to figure out what happened. Doesn't sound like anyone in her building, or at least the closest, or one of the closest neighbors, was even questioned. Still to this day, she hadn't been questioned. And I have to agree with the lawyer that the family has retained at this moment. It looks as though they have jumped to the conclusion of suicide for all of the wrong reasons instead of doing a full-on investigation. And the fact that they told witnesses not to talk to the council, well, but I'll keep you guys updated on what happens with this case. For whatever reason, I'm drawn to it. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I want to keep up with it. And I will keep you guys updated because I want to know what happened. And I hope that we can get down to the facts of what happened. The only update that I've seen is that Briana was overserved. She was not of age. But regardless, I don't think she jumped. I don't think that this was suicide. But at the same time, I didn't know Briana, so I have no idea. It's just speculation, purely speculation. But remember that you can always keep up with my progress policies and, of course, donate at notaxandwithjackson.com.